Recording now.
Awesome. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to week 0. Woohoo! Happy Valentine's Day. So I am super excited to be here, and I just want to quickly introduce myself to you. For those of you who didn't see the welcome video in the Facebook group, I'm Kasha, so I'll kind of be your tour guide for the next 9 weeks, or 8 weeks after today. And I'm not to be confused with Tasha. So if for some of you who don't know me or haven't heard my name yet, you've probably heard the name Tasha. There wasn't a typo or anything. Yes, there are 2 of us. We look different. Our names just are very similar. So if you guys know of anybody named Sasha or Yasha or, anything that ends with Asha, we're looking to recruit her, only to cause further confusion for you all. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I am a coach with Emerge Sales, and I'm just super excited to be here. I'm a graduate with this program, and I've been a part of the Emerge community since about June of last year. So I'm just really excited to kind of take you guys through this training course that I have implemented into my business as well, and have just seen amazing things happen. So I'm super, super excited for you. So I want Kristen, who's our community manager, to also quickly introduce herself, and then we'll kind of get into what we're going to cover today.
Hello. Yes, I'm Kristen, and I feel like a similar story as Kasha, just not in June. It was like maybe August or September that I started working with Tasha one-on-one and did her group coaching and was going through all of her trainings and stuff. And yeah, it's been super fun. And so the mission of Emerge is something that just resonated with me and was really similar to my mission for like building a doTERRA business. And so it was just a great fit and super exciting to, be a part of the Emerge team. And this is Kasha's and mine's like first group together. Like I'm the community manager. I'll be here to like manage the chat, do a lot of the Facebook stuff, answer your questions behind the scenes. And Kasha's going to be here as the live coach, coaching us through the course. And she's, had groups before, and I've been doing this for Tasha, but this is our first group together. So this is super fun.
On Valentine's Day.
On Valentine's Day, it's meant to be. So yeah, I'm super excited to be here, and it's super fun always launching new groups, and I can't wait to see what happens the next 9 weeks. It's going to be a good time. So thanks, Kasha.
Thank you. Cool. So let me go over what we're going to talk about today. And I do have some notes just so I don't miss anything for you guys. So if you see me glancing away, that's why. But yeah, we're going to start by sharing what you guys are excited about. And we're going to be doing this every single week. We want to celebrate the wins, no matter how big or how small they are. And that's important because we want to keep our success in front of us. I think it's really easy for us to beat ourselves up over what's not going well. And those are the things that we remember. And so we want to celebrate the wins and remember and focus on what's going well week after week. So this week is an orientation week. And there will be 8 weeks to follow after today's call. So the calls will be on every Tuesday at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time. All the calls will be recorded. So if you can't make it live, no big deal. The replays are just as valuable. And, if you guys miss us or whatever, you can, just watch the replays whenever you want. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about how to get the most out of this program. We're going to learn 2 big picture concepts, which if you went to the closing workshop, you've already heard of before, but some of you are here and didn't go to the closing workshop. So we're going to be covering those two concepts, which are the sales assembly and the motivation roller coaster. And then lastly, we're just going to wrap up with some questions. I want to make sure that I can quickly show you guys how to navigate your course. So we'll log in and I'll do a little share screen so you can see where to access things, and make sure that you're clicking this very important button called the Next button. That's just to help us track your progress. And if we have any time left, if any of you just have any questions, we're going to go ahead and kind of tackle those if we have time. So how does all that sound for everybody? Thumbs up? Cool beans. I've got you all on mute, so just like nod or smile or like, it's not like Facebook Live where you can like send me happy faces and hearts. Cool. So let's go ahead and jump in. You can go ahead and unmute yourself and just share either what you're excited about in learning in this program, or just some wins or success stories that you've already had if you've been implementing things already.
Can I start?
Sure, absolutely.
Hi, my name is Maike Science. I started with doTERRA 3 years ago, but I've been doing it slowly, liking it, loving it. But as a business, it has not been working very well for me as incoming money. So when I heard about Tasha, it's like, oh my gosh, it blew my mind. And it's so easy. I implemented all her learning. Like the first time, I had a first group class last week. Yeah, on Thursday, and we had 6 members and 4 of them enrolled. And I already did some membership overviews this past 3 days with them, and they're really excited about using the oils. But it's just, for me, it's a much easier approach to follow the lines that Tasha has said, because it's like, okay, this is simple. It makes it life simple. I like to talk too much probably about the products and things, like she says, that's too much information. So I love the simplicity of this program, and thank you very much for the opportunity.
That's so awesome. You're so welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi there.
Hi, I'm Cherie. I live in Michigan, but you might hear a lot about me saying from Colorado because I've been in Michigan for only a year and a half, so still part of me is in Colorado. But I have actually used essential oils for 23 years, way before it was being used. And so my best friend, Heather, got into essential oils, and I would go to her classes just to learn more, and I'd be like teaching it because I had all the knowledge of essential oils for 23 years when you go to a health food store and there'd only be like 5 options. And she kept trying to get me into doTERRA. Finally, I did, because I could smell the difference and see the difference. And it was just so much more powerful. Signed up, but didn't really do anything. And I'm just really getting going with the business now. I've been signed up for 2 years, and I'm just starting to build a team. So in December, I actually signed up for just the online course for this. And I made it through week 5, but I haven't actually got going. And so I decided to do the live coaching. I think that's what I need. I'm a very much a people person. And I think just the online was not working for me, even though I loved the information I was getting. Like a whole bunch of my team and my upline was doing it from the one in December. And I felt like they were progressing more. And I felt like I needed this coaching to make a difference in my life.
Yeah, we're kind of like virtual accountability partners for everybody, right? And
yes,
yeah, I think the group coaching is a total game changer for everybody, just because as you guys start going through the training process, you're going to have questions and things coming up. Some of you may have been in doTERRA for a while. And so you're going to kind of be looking back and asking yourself questions about, well, what about this? Or what about when that happened? And so it's nice to have a community where, you know, you guys can share those questions and bounce things off each other, because I'm sure that you're not the only one who has those questions. And you all learn from each other, which is super exciting and super amazing. So we're super happy to have you. Thanks for sharing, Cherie. Sorry.
Hi there. My name is Renee Michaels.
Hi, Renee.
And hello. I've been with doTERRA for about 1.5 years. I'm a solid silver at this point in time. And I've been doing pretty good in some things and not so good in other things. And when I saw Tasha's little video on Eddie and Angela, I was so impressed about doing something different. And sometimes I feel as though I'm spinning my wheels and I'm doing everything that everyone's telling me to do, but I still have these obstacles, or it's just too much. It's just too much information. So I tried Tasha's technique for closing. My close is really good. I have a really good close. I have like an 80% close, but I thought, let me just try this outline, and I loved it. It was, 30 to 45 minutes. It was just a 1 to 2, and both people signed up, one with the Natural Solutions Kit and one with 126 PV. And then today was the unboxing, or what do you call it? Wellness consult. So I skipped ahead on the videos to see how exactly I should do this. And I got to tell you, it was very, very successful. Very successful. So it was the first time that I really felt in control of my wellness consult, of my, getting to know the oils. It wasn't too much information. It was just enough. And I can see just after 2 things that I did how it's working. So I'm super, super excited to learn about follow-up and leads. And my biggest struggles are contacting, cold contacting, getting more leads. That's my biggest obstacle. And I hope to learn so much more from this class.
Awesome. That's so great. Thank you so much, Renee.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll take one more. Who's excited? Veronica.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really excited because Nikki, who is my gold leader in doTERRA, she is coming tomorrow to, she lives in Utah, I live in Nebraska, and she's participating in Diamond Club. And so she's coming tomorrow, and we have a blitz of 4 days of jam-packed morning, afternoon, night, one-on-ones. You name it, we're doing it. But right now, my biggest struggle is getting those butts in those seats. I mean to tell you, it is like pulling teeth to get a firm yes from people that, yes, I am indeed coming. And I've done some live Facebook videos and given some special love potions away to get people to tag other people, and like nothing. So yeah, I'm super stressed because I want to, of course, make the most of Nikki's time as she's traveling, and it's going to be a progression of month after month and through May. Once I get in front of people, I generally do pretty well. I close probably about 80% of the time, and my wellness consults go very well. I have access to an Itovi scan. So I'm pretty good at, once they enroll, I come out with that scan. I give them suggestions, get them set up on LRP, and we're good to go. But right now my struggle is just getting, and I live in a really rural community, like my little town is 250 people. So my warm market is I've gone through my warm market. So I just need to keep going, reaching out, saying, hey, who do you know? Can you bring, do you know somebody that would be interested? Would you like to bring them? And then my other struggle right now is builders. I have one really super good builder on board. The others are saying they want to build, but they're probably more in the sharing category. So those are the 2 things I'm focused on right now.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Veronica. Cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I would love to hear everybody's super excited stuff. So post it in the chat too if you want. But obviously I also want to make sure that we honor our time and stay on track. So for those of you like Renee who are eager beavers and who've already started binging on the program, good job. For everybody else who might be, hearing things that are coming up, or what are they talking about, follow-up appointment or closing or any of that, and you're asking yourselves like how they're doing it, you didn't actually need to do anything yet. So congratulations. If you've done nothing, raise your hand. It's okay. Cool. You're ahead of the game because today is technically the first day. So nothing's due. You're not behind. So for the rest of the call, we're going to be going over the goals for the training and some of those big picture concepts that will be important for you guys to keep in mind as we move through the course. So you're going to need a notepad and your planners. So if you don't have them, grab them now, which is totally okay. Yes. And as everybody is grabbing those things, the biggest thing I want to share with you guys as we start to kind of get into the goals for the training and the big picture concepts is kind of our philosophy, which is customer first, your team second, and you and your ego third. So as we move through the course and everything that we do, I want you guys to just be mindful of that and to kind of look through everything that you're doing, every interaction that you're having through that lens, right? And how it impacts your customer first, how it impacts your team second, and you and your ego are last. How does that sound for everybody? Good? Awesome. Cool. All right. So goals for the training. Goal number 1, finish the training. I know you guys are like, seriously? It can't be that hard. Yeah. So shockingly, the completion rate for an online program is about 3%. That's kind of crappy, you guys. Yeah. We don't want 3% of you finishing the training. We want all of you finishing the training. So goal number 1, finish the training. Goal number 2 is going to be improve your last quarter sales results. And goal number 3 is going to be increase your confidence. And goal number 4 is going to be to have fun. So let me break those down for you a little bit. So finish the training. What does that mean? That means watch all the videos. Watch them all. And just do the stuff. Just, where it says the get it done section, get it done. And the reason I bring this up is because it's going to, get really easy to start comparing your results to other people as we start getting into the program and everybody's starting to have, these super big wins like, I had this class and I enrolled 6 people, or, I just made X amount of dollars, or I just got this many referrals, right? And we start doing what our leadership coach, Karen, likes to call compare and despair. And, when we start getting into that kind of cycle, we want to give up, right? Because we're like, well, I can't do that, or that's not happening for me. So we don't want you guys to give up, and you're going to have those moments. So just focus on finishing the program. So the reason I asked you guys to grab your planner is because if you haven't done so already, I want to make sure that you go ahead and block out this time on Tuesdays from 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard to 11:30 for the next 8 weeks. Block it out. Whatever time zone you might be in. I'm in SoCal, so it's 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard here, whatever time that is for you. But make sure that you block that time out. I'm gonna give you guys a minute to do that. I see you all writing fastidiously. I love it. I mean, how cool is it? Like, I'll try to wear like cool leggings for you guys, you know, every call. Anybody else have a LuLaRoe addiction problem? It's a problem really in my house. Yeah, I see Christelle. Cool. They're so comfy. Okay.
My addiction is so bad that I sell it.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy. All right, I'm going to give you guys about 30 more seconds to block out that time if you haven't done so already. I see still some of you writing. Cool. All right, so goal number 2 is to improve last quarter's results. So it's okay if you don't have this number now, but I want you to make a note of it, especially if you haven't started watching the videos yet, to make a note of your personal enrollments over the last 3 months. So that's how many people you have personally enrolled over the last 3 months. I want you to write down that number. And our goal is going to be able to increase that through this course. And we're going to base our starting point off that number. So this goes back to just what I said just a minute ago, which is don't compare yourselves to others, right? Because we all have different starting points. Some of you may have enrolled 5 people the last 3 months. Some of you may have enrolled 10. Right? So here's the good news for you guys. Today is going to be a new starting point for all of you because today is the day you all start actually selling doTERRA. You guys are in sales. Who's like surprised about that? Anybody? What? I'm in sales? No, we're just sharing. No, you're in sales. Surprise! Yeah, but today is a new starting point for you. So that's also one thing I want you guys to be mindful of is you're going to have this temptation to go back, right? And to look at all the things that you've messed up on and done wrong or didn't do right, woulda, shoulda, coulda, right? And we want to focus on just moving forward, right? And making progress. How does that sound for everybody? Good? Sweet. Cool. All right, goal number 3 is going to be to increase your confidence. And that's why wins are so important. So if your win is just, hey, I actually filled out my planner this week, that is a win for some of us, right? Because for some of us, that's hard. Or for some of us, it might be, oh my gosh, I picked up the phone and called somebody. Doesn't matter what it is. We want to share our wins because that's going to help to increase our confidence because we're all going to be sharing in each other's successes. And lastly is to have fun. I'm sure you guys can probably tell already, but we're a fun community here at Emerge. You know, we wear headbands and flowers in our hair and do crazy memes. Kristen is like the official like meme creator. She creates some pretty awesome memes.
As part of my job description.
Yeah, it's a requirement. So that'll be one thing you guys will learn by the end of this program too, is probably how to make a meme, you know, meme of your life. So, but no, we want you guys to have fun because selling is fun. I know that seems crazy for some of you. You're like, what? Selling is fun? Even though you may not believe that right now, because think about it. Think about when you've had a positive sales experience, right? you bought a car and the salesperson was super helpful. They answered all your questions. They were really there to serve you. Maybe you're buying a bed or something. I don't know. The only major things I've bought are a house and a car. You know, so I think about my real estate agent who's amazing. And just, you know, they are just there to serve me. And when you have that sort of positive sales interaction, right? Sales is fun. It's fun for you as the customer, and it's fun for you as the person selling the product, right? Everybody leaves happy. Everybody wins. So sales should be fun. If you're operating from that mindset of customer first, team second, you and your ego third. And people are going to be attracted to your business when you operate that way. Because it's a good experience for you and your customer. And then guess what? Accidental recruiting. Oh my gosh, your class was so much fun. Like, I want to do what you do. How many of us are like dying for builders? Right? Yeah. So when we have fun, people are like, oh my gosh, I want to do that too. That's what happened to Kristen and I at Emerge. You know, we were like, we want to do that too. And now here we are. So is everybody good for the goals for the training? Yeah? Awesome. Cool. So what we expect of you guys is, number one, complete the challenges each week. This is going to help you learn, right? Yeah, you can watch the videos, but if you don't actually do the stuff, you're not really going to learn. Because as adults, we learn differently. We don't learn by watching. We actually learn by doing. Our brains just work different after a certain age. So that's why you'll see some assignments like post a video of yourself or write it down. Some of them are really easy, you know, like post your takeaways, post your insights. Some of them are a little harder, like take a video of yourself and post it on Facebook and you're like, what? This is crazy. So each week, you want to make sure that you attend the group training, which is this call here, or watch the recording, and then complete the assignments. So you're going to need an hour each week to complete all the videos and the exercises, roughly an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, unless you're crazy like me. Anybody else have Monica Geller syndrome? Yeah. Perfect. I love that there are other Monicas out there. Yeah, so for all the other Monicas out there, you may need a little bit more time than an hour. So, but yeah, just an hour to complete all the assignments, watch the videos, and then obviously an hour for the weekly calls. So there's also going to be challenge winners. So that's just an added bonus for you guys. So make sure that you're completing the assignments and participating, because every week we'll raffle off to win a coupon to one of our workshops for either yourself or someone on your team to attend, because we need them selling too. So let me quickly share my screen with you guys so you can see where you're going to go. Everybody can see my screen? I can only see Pam and Kristen, so cool. Thank you, ladies. Okay, so you're going to go to emergesalestraining.thinkific.com, and you want to sign in here at the top right corner. So you'll just click sign in. Oops. And let me just go to, I think I'm already signed in. Let me go to my dashboard. Where is it?
Are you meaning to be in the main account?
No, I'm trying to log out.
Okay.
I don't know why I was signed in there. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to sign in with mine. So you'll sign in. No. And when you guys log in, this is what you'll see. You'll see whatever courses that you've registered for or already participated in, and courses that are available for like future purchase, like things that are coming up. So here's our group right here, Direct Sales Foundation. The overview is basically just going to give you an overview of each week. So it will break it down. There's my crazy face. This is going to give you exactly what it says, an overview. To actually get to the content, you want to click on the Resume Course button. So once the computer finishes thinking, perfect. So here in the left sidebar is where you'll see all of the assignments. So obviously here's today's kind of agenda, login information for all of the calls. Where it says discuss here, that's where you'll post things like the assignments. So if it says like do a video or post your takeaways, some of it will be here in the discussion forum, some of it will be on Facebook. So just follow the prompts that are here and make sure that you guys are clicking this green button right here, which is the next button. Okay, so if I click next, it's gonna think, and then you can chat, right? And then click next. And the reason that next button is important is to make sure that your progress is accurate, because sometimes people will just click on the next thing without clicking next, and then it may say like you're only 3% done when you're actually like 75% done. Okay? Any questions on like navigating your course at all? That's like a quick overview. And there's a tutorial video also that I posted in the Facebook group, which Kristen was so awesome to do for us. Cool. Okay. So, sorry you guys, I'm just getting back to my notes and my screen is a little crazy. Okay, so still on expectations. The second thing is celebrate the wins. I know we keep saying this, but no matter how big or how small, everything happens at different times for different people, right? So whatever your wins are, we want to celebrate them with you, and we want to be excited. And I was a cheerleader, so I'll be your own personal cheerleader here. I'll bring pom-poms next call and my megaphone. The next thing is to ask questions. Okay, this is a safe place for you guys to ask anything or bring up concerns. We want to walk through it together. And like I shared earlier, I guarantee you that you're probably not the only one thinking whatever it is that you're thinking. So we all want to be learning together, and that's part of the benefit of the group coaching, is so that you can work through stuff together. And I know in a lot of training programs, questions can seem as a negative thing, but we want to be mentally engaging versus just blindly following. So if you're not sure, ask. If something seems uncomfortable, ask. If you're not sure why something is phrased a certain way, ask. So do you guys think those are fair expectations? Do the stuff, celebrate the wins, ask questions? Yes, love it. Cool. Okay, so here's what you can expect from us as a team, as far as Kristen and I goes, and obviously Tasha as well. But we're here to encourage you guys. So when things are hard or you're struggling or what have you, we're here to encourage you. We're here to provide you guys with feedback. That's why we love seeing your questions and having you guys post in the Facebook groups, so we can support you. Second is we're going to challenge your thinking and your previous behaviors. And, you know, I want you guys to challenge this training too. that's okay. Like if a sentence or phrase doesn't feel right, ask questions. We want to be able to work through this and personalize it. That's another benefit to the group coaching, is that you guys are getting kind of one-on-one attention, right? Obviously we're in a group, but this is definitely a smaller group than our other groups that we have going on. There's probably about twice as many people in most of our other groups. So you guys get more of us. But yeah, our goal is to make you guys feel comfortable and confident in what you're doing and saying. And then lastly is we're going to provide you with feedback. So you'll see, you know, I'll be doing Facebook Lives. For this group, I'll probably do live at 5, I think on Wednesday and Fridays. So if you guys like live videos, you can catch me live at 5. I'll answer your questions. My kids may be running around in the background. That's why it's live. But yeah, and Kristen's super awesome. She'll always be, you know, answering things in the Facebook group. So be active there. If you haven't added yourself already, please be sure that you do so.
Yeah, I put the Facebook link in the chat, so hopefully if you aren't, go do that right now and I'll go approve it.
And if you guys are asking stuff in the chat and I'm not answering it, it's not because I'm ignoring you. Kristen's taking care of the chat because she's super awesome like that. I just see it blinking orange. All right. So the last thing I want to do is go over our 2 big picture concepts. Where did so let me share my screen with you guys. I'm not as technologically advanced as Tasha is. Mm-hmm. And I can't.
Doing that, I can answer. So yeah, the live at 5 will be in that February Facebook group. So all of our feedback and whatnot will be in that Facebook group or in the discussion questions, like the discussion challenges and stuff in your actual course. So those are the 2 places you need feedback from us or have questions about the content or situations that you are in as far as, you know, customers that you've come across or whatever. We will answer them in those 2 places. If that answers your question, Sharon.
Thank you. Okay, so as I shared earlier, some of you may be familiar with these 2 concepts. The first one is the sales assembly line, and that's just from the closing workshop. But sales is a process, and there's an order to the process. So how do assembly lines work, right? If we think about like Legos or baking, or I love the Lucy example in the factory, right, with the chocolate. It's very fitting analogy for today, being Valentine's Day. But assembly lines, they're step 1, and then step 2, and then step 3. What happens if something's broken? You guys can post in the chat or unmute yourselves. Anybody have any thoughts about what happens if an assembly line is broken?
Hi, this is Rachel from California.
Hi, Rachel.
When the assembly line breaks down, you end up with a broken product or an incomplete product. You know, you don't have what you're actually looking for in the end. So,
yeah, absolutely. So I love thinking about baking. I'm a baker. I like to bake cookies and cake and all of that. And so there's a process to baking, just like there's a process to sales. And so if I don't follow the recipe, I don't know what's going on with my slides. I'm having to hit the button twice. Right? If I use too much flour or not enough eggs, or if I put the flour in before I cream the butter and the sugar, my cookies aren't going to turn out right. So it's the same thing with your sales process and your customers. If we don't follow the proper steps, in the sales assembly line, or if we put the ingredients in the wrong place, or maybe we don't even have all the right ingredients, then the sale doesn't happen. Does that make sense to you guys? So our process is going to be to set an appointment. Next is going to be our sales conversation. And in that sales conversation, there are certain parts. So the agenda, getting input from the customer, building the value, and next steps. Referrals. Want to do this too is recruiting. And then training our team. So this is kind of your process or your sales assembly line as you approach your business. And so through the course, we're going to be breaking down each of these pieces. So week 2, we'll start getting into setting the appointments. Weeks 3 and 4 will be the sales conversation. But I want you guys to think about your previous interactions with your customers and why all of this matters. Right? We want to keep the steps in order because going back, right, thinking about our previous interactions, if we examine that and we wonder like, well, why didn't somebody want to join my team? Or, why didn't that customer buy? Or why didn't that customer want to talk to me about essential oils? It's probably because something in our process was broken. So that's why I shared with you guys earlier, don't focus so much on going back. It's a lot harder to resurrect the dead than it is to birth a baby. Right? So starting over. And that's not to say that you can't go back, but it's just where are you going to get the biggest bang for your buck? Where is your time going to be best spent? Right? Trying to fix everything that's already been done and in the past and already broken, or moving forward and using a new process and a new approach that actually works. So what do you guys think? I see Rachel and Pam nodding. You guys are the only two I see. Is everyone else nodding, Kristen?
I can only see 4 people too because your screen is the main thing. So.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Sorry, I have a crying baby. I'm gonna try now.
So why do you guys think it wouldn't go back? Why do you think it would not work to go back? And resurrect old builders or contact old customers? Anyone have any thoughts on that?
This is Rachel again.
Hi, Rachel.
So I would say just because you're kind of just like if you were assembly lining something and you're going back to something that should have been done previously, it's out of order, and so it's still not going to turn out the way you thought it was going to turn out. And when we're talking about our past prospects and stuff like that, I feel like you either apologize and say, oh, I messed up royally and I need to start over with you. And if they're gracious, maybe they will. But probably most people are like, well, whatever. Like you tried to sell me something or you didn't fulfill my need or whatever it was. And they've moved on to something else, So.
Totally. Absolutely. Spot on. Yeah, we can't rebake cookies, you guys. Cookies are already baked. Everybody go with sales assembly line? All right, awesome. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the motivation roller coaster. So how many of you have ever had a customer that was super excited to buy a home essentials kit? They were like, oh my gosh, that kit is awesome. I want to get it. But, call me tomorrow. And then when you call them tomorrow, they've changed their mind. Oh, no, I've changed my mind. And then you're like, what? But you were so excited. What happened? It's the motivation roller coaster, you guys. Yeah. Anybody banana? I know. It's our memes. Kristen didn't make this one. But enthusiasm, more coffee. I'm like, please. Enthusiasm has a half-life. And motivation goes up and down over time and based on circumstance. So how many of you like bought a new planner and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about my new planner. It's going to be awesome. And then like a week later, you're like, oh. Right? What happened to our enthusiasm? It was like way up here and then a week later down here. The same thing happens to our customers and our team members. So this is kind of what the motivation roller coaster looks like. Up and down, right? Like a roller coaster. And so let's use that customer example, right? You meet with them. They're super excited. They're high up on that roller coaster. Yes, can't wait. But then you call them back the next day, or maybe it's a couple of days, and they're, oh no, I've changed my mind. It's because they fell. Their enthusiasm has dropped. Sometimes we get lucky, right? We call them back and, oh yeah, totally, I want to place my order. But more often than not, that's just kind of luck. So our job is to hijack the motivation roller coaster. Where did my mouse go? And so what we want to do is keep them high. So we meet with them at the appointment and we want to try and close the sale there. And then we follow up with them after they get their kit. So we're making sure that those touch points with our customers are more frequent. So we have the appointment, they buy a week passes, they get their kit, they're excited again. A couple days passes, then they have their follow-up appointment, they're excited again. Why do you guys think this matters?
To keep enrolled and with the same idea of using, because sometimes they lose enthusiasm or they don't know what to do, so they just not do it anymore.
Yeah. To actually get them to do the thing that they want to do. Thanks for sharing, Mike. Totally. Customers also make decisions on small amounts of things that they remember. Right? So if you've had an appointment with them and then you try and follow up a week later to get them to buy, do you think that they've remembered everything that you shared with them at that appointment? A week later? Probably not. Because a week's passed. A lot happens in a week, you guys, right? It's like the last thing on our minds. Oh, what? What did she say to me? I don't even remember. Why do I need this?
Hey, Kasha, there's a question relating to what you were just talking about of, but what if they never answer us? So Fern, are you asking that in regards to, you know, like the hijacking the roller coaster, the contacts that we have with them? And you can unmute yourself or chat. Either way.
Try to contact the people and they never respond back. Try to contact the people and they never respond back.
That's a great question. So I usually have a rule of threes, kind of 3 strikes you're out, right? So if you tried to reach out to them 3 times and they didn't answer, they didn't call you back, just move on, let it go. Right? Because we also don't want to be that pushy person, right? That's why our previous sales approach has kind of not been fun. It's actually hard. Sampling and following up is really hard because we're in this kind of reactive state versus proactive, where we're kind of anticipating our customers' needs versus reacting to the situation.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So not understanding this concept, you guys, will kill your business. Not only for your customers, right? Because if you have customers that we're not making sure to be mindful of that motivation roller coaster and keep them high up there, making sure that we're staying in close contact throughout that sales process, but also for our builders, our potential recruits, right? We have somebody who comes to a class or to an appointment. Oh my gosh, that was so amazing. I'm so excited. And then we wait. Oh yeah, I would love to have you on my team. Why don't you come to this training? It's in 2 weeks. Right? And then they're back down. So the motivation roller coaster impacts our customers. It impacts our team too. I don't know why this is doing this. Let me get back. Anybody having any big light bulb moments with all this? You're all looking back at your business or your customer interactions. You're like, oh my gosh. Right, it's okay. That's why we're excited. Does anybody have questions about those 2 concepts?
Yes, I do. You said basically, you can't rebake cookies, and I get that totally. But when you said trying to reactivate your builders, okay, so are you saying that there's really no sense in exposing them to this kind of new concept to re-excite them?
That's a great question, Fern. I love that question. Thank you. I wouldn't say that there's no hope. You just want to be mindful of how your time is going to be spent, right? So there's definitely an approach that you want to use when you're trying to reinvigorate an existing builder with a new process. Kristen, you had a build. Would you mind sharing your story? It's kind of your approach, because I think it would be helpful here.
Yeah, with the ones that I re-engaged.
Yeah.
I basically I took note of what I had learned, as far as like the closing workshop and whatnot, and I basically regurgitated it. So I contacted them. I know this is like, this and this has been a problem in the past. Here's what I'm doing. I'm having a Zoom call. And if you are open to learning about this new process to see if it's something that would fit your needs better, here's when I'm having it. And so I did have a few people show up, and then I just I did the one-on-one approach. Like I reshared that piece of it. And then I had one person in particular who booked a couple appointments that night and then enrolled with a kit for the first time. She was every single enrollment was always a $35 enrollment with no oils for like a year. And it was the first time that she sold a kit. And so that was super exciting. So I think the point of it all is just to, in the same way that we're teaching us to talk about the oils, where like, what are your needs, and connect the dots for them. That's what we want to do. But I think the main thing to like, Fern, just to like further answer your question is, I think it's worthwhile for sure, but the expectation might be a little lower as far as how, like the percentage of people that we can re-engage, as opposed to the percentage of people who see the process with clean eye, you know, like from the beginning with this new approach, you know, the success rate is going to be higher. So I definitely think it's worthwhile to reach out and just don't do in the same way that we don't want to like verbal vomit on our customers with how excited we are about oils. We don't want to do that with this training. Like, oh my gosh, I have this new training and it's amazing. And, start going on and on about it. Like, use the same process. Like, what are the challenges that we've seen in the past, and here's a solution type of thing. So yeah, I don't know. And that was super exciting, but just to compare to the person who saw my one-on-one with Fresh Eyes, was open to learning more about it. I taught her the one-on-one. We practiced it once or twice, and she enrolled 6 people in her first month with kits. So like, that's the difference between someone who has a lot of baggage and someone who sees it from the beginning, So, yeah, I hope that helps. Like, it's not a lost cause or no hope, but it's just a lower percentage. So just to be aware of that and don't get discouraged by that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Yeah, just manage your expectations of what will happen after that interaction. And there is a bonus video at the very end of your course, at the end of week 8, on how to sell this training to your team members. So there's that for you guys there. But like Kristen said, don't go crazy for Cuckoo Puffs on your team members either, right? Same thing we do. These oils are amazing. You need them. This training's amazing. You need it.
The thing is that all of us is a builder that's getting re-excited. All of us that are on this right now is a builder that's getting re-excited or more excited about a new way of doing something. And that's probably the reason why, maybe I would say some of my people are half-baked. Okay.
Totally. I love it. I mean, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you guys have this great thing, right? That for some of you, if you've already been using it, have found that it's working. And why wouldn't you want to share that? Right? Of course you would want to share it. It's your approach, right? We just want to make sure that our approach is proper. We want to make sure that we're building the value for our team members as well, so that they can understand, oh, I see why this is important for my business, because it's going to help me solve XYZ problems, not what it's done for you. It's what it's going to do for them.
Right. Got it.
But yes. Cool. So any other questions before I kind of go over some homework and what to expect for the next week? I don't know if there's anything else in the chat, Kristen.
I have a question. Hey,
Yes,
are there any books or outside material that you would recommend that we have on hand or kind of use as reference for any of the stuff we're going to move forward with? Does that make sense?
Yeah, there are some great resources on the website. I know Tasha has like a recommended reading list. And I can be sure to post that in the Facebook group, or Kristen can do that for you too. So you guys can have that as a reference. But I would say my biggest recommendation and encouragement to you would be to just focus on this course and the training right now. It gets really tempting to start learning a whole bunch of stuff, and then we want to go and implement that whole bunch of stuff too. And then it can start to feel really overwhelming and daunting. And so we want to make sure that we're focusing on one skill set at a time and making sure that we've, in essence, mastered that skill before we try and learn something else. All right, so kind of like we want to learn to walk before we run. And that's why the course is designed the way it is. It may seem super basic for you guys as you get started in week 1, where you're like getting organized. Like, what do you mean fill out my planner? What do you mean I need to like have a schedule? But it's so impactful to your business. And that's why the course is designed week by week, video by video. It's a lot easier to chew everything and eat everything in kind of smaller pieces and try and eat the whole pie at once. And each week builds upon itself. So you'll notice week 1, super easy. When you get to week 5 and we're like halfway through, you're like, oh my gosh, this is hard. So pace yourself. But yeah, there is definitely available resources for you, Chelsea. Okay, so as we wrap up, I just want to go over kind of your homework for the week, which is to watch week 1 if you haven't done so already, and do the exercises. So post your takeaways from the call today, fill out your planner. Some of you may get stuck on the CRM. Don't stress out over it. It's okay. We'll cover it next week, but don't stress out. And then just make sure that you post your questions prior to the call for next week. Like I said at the beginning of the call, I will be doing Facebook Live at 5s on Wednesday and Fridays to answer questions throughout the week, because as questions are coming up for you guys, we want you to post them when it's on your mind. And we'll, address those questions throughout the week. But prior to each call, we'll post a little reminder. Just be sure that you're posting your questions so that you can get the most out of the calls and out of the training. All right, you guys. Who's excited? They're like, all right, here we go. Buckle up. Well, thank you guys all for being on the call today. The replay for the video or the recording will go out, but it'll go out tomorrow. It'll be posted tomorrow. So for those of you who want to spend more time with us tomorrow again, you can watch us then. But I hope you all have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Don't eat too much chocolate or, butter or, drink too much wine, whatever else there is on Valentine's Day. I don't know. I have 2 young kids, so I'm like, I'm going to bed. My husband asked me, what do you want for Valentine's Day? It was like, a nap. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.